We're out here on a creek. I just found some flint. For flint and steel, bushcraft survival, and flint knapping. You can make survival tools out of this, and you can make arrowheads out of this. Knives, whatever you need. This. Black chert on the creek. Excellent. Always love when I find random flint like this. Yeah!
Maybe we should test it. See how...
See the high quality hidden in there?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Black chert. Black chert.
Black chert.
I got some in my hand here.
What do you have? Ooh.
Let me test it. Yeah, good stuff.
What kind of chert is that?
Black chert. Pennsylvania black chert.
It's very ringy.
Mm-hmm.
You can see another piece.
I don't know. Let's see. It's got a lot of crud in it. So a lot of crud here. Let's try this side.
Oh, I mean it
is flint.
It is flint. Definitely smells like really strong like gunflint.
It's not really too good. I'll leave this piece.
What do we got?
Just try. Yeah,
Still
that's nice, but it's freeze damaged. Here, hold on. It's very, very damaged in there. Let's see that. It's limestone-ish. Weird.
Yikes.
There'd be a lot of getting around bad stuff. Got these little things that you could use for flint and steel, bushcraft, survival, fire starting. I'll have to see if this stuff sparks, but this is higher quality.
Ooh.
I'll bring this piece to test with the flint and steel.
Maybe we should test it. See how...
See the high quality hidden in there?
Ooh, yeah. Damn. If only that whole piece was like that.
There's this weird silty stuff mixed in it.
Let me see the...
Silty stuff underneath the silty stuff. Nice. Alright, so I got this irregular shaped, kind of cruddy piece of basanite from Pennsylvania. the shoreline of the creek here. Somebody's been napping down here. Is this your work? Who's been doing this? You gotta take these with you, man. Seriously, this makes some nice arrowheads. Take it with you. When you nap and you're testing rocks on the creek, take them with you. Pennsylvania napper.
A friend.
Which one of it is you?
There's a friend somewhere.
It is hot and it is getting dark. And there are toads everywhere underfoot.
They might be were-toads.
Extremely dangerous toads. Be careful. Cool. I wonder what exactly this stuff is. I have a good idea of what it is, but maybe one of my subscriber or archaeology friends or geology friends can chime in and let me know what kind of flint that is. I think I know what it is, but I'll let you guys decide.
Drop a comment.
The way I knew that that was a modern napper napping here was there were little percussion marks with dust, and I did see a tiny bit of copper and possibly a tiny bit of steel in that rock. If you look at my hammerstone, you could see the dust residue right there. That was on the flakes. So I could tell immediately if something is modern or not, for the most part.
Well, very recent.
Yeah, very recent. So, flint napping is the ancient skill of turning a block of stone into a usable tool, like an arrowhead or a knife. And people all the way back to before we were human did this to make their tools, to make their axes. Bay, right at the water. We just came over the bridge there, and I'm taking a quick look around and see what kind of rocks are here. Look for maybe fossil shark teeth, maybe mastodon teeth, mammoth teeth. Who knows? I don't know. Always check. There's a lot of jellyfish, I'll tell you that. Blue flint.
Really?
Piece of blue flint, yeah, with
wow.
Looks like calcite inclusions. I was reading that all types of flint in Maryland. Many different kinds. They're just really small.
Hard to work stuff. Maybe you can throw in some pictures of what that looked like.
Clip in pictures here, artifacts. I wanted to see what kind of rocks were here, what kind of fossils, what I could find on the shores. There's a lot of history under that water there. We just came over that bridge and I figured stop down here, take a look around. It's nice and hot down here in Maryland. Humid. Alright, I'm heading out. found a bunch of jasper. I tested it.
Oh wow.
So little tiny cobbles of jasper. And I'll leave this piece, a little piece of gray flint.
Awesome.
And a really pretty shell. I like shells too. I often don't say that, but I do.
Find it?
100% jasper.
Oh my gosh, that's smooth. So smooth.
Yeah. Jasper. There's jasper here too.
Like here's another piece. It's just
Very tiny.
it's so tiny, but it's really super smooth.
I say it's nappable. When I'm saying it's nappable, I mean it flakes. I don't mean it's easily nappable. This is not easy material. This is not at all. But if you try to flake it, it flakes. So that means you can nap it. You just have to know the stone. If you want to try something rough like this, it's going to take you a lot of practice with this particular stone. But once you get good and you know how the stone works, then yes, you can nap the stone. Artifact day, guys. Gonna explain some of these weapons of the hunt. These are artifacts that were found in Connecticut, and it shows the type of stone that was used, and it wasn't the best of stuff. It's around 9,500 years old. This is a later point, a woodland point called a lavana, as well as some flake tools, hide scrapers, and other tools used for not only hunting, but also processing the game. And I just wanted to go over some things in this video with you. The game back in the Ice Age, the animals were very, very large, like this mastodon here, depicted in a snowy scene. This thing is huge if you stand next to it. Amazing creature. Then there's also the modern beaver in comparison to the Ice Age beaver. You could see the skull size difference. It's pretty amazing. Everything was bigger back then. And you can't tell how big this guy is. I'm just going to stick my hand in his eye and you'll be able to maybe tell a little bit, but this thing is huge, man. Now, there's some scenes here that I want to show.
In the aftermath of a successful hunt, members of this ancient hunting group had begun to butcher the fallen caribou. Like native people in more recent times, the paleo hunters were probably accustomed to making the fullest possible use of the caribou as a source of food.
Now, one of the things about caribou is people who used to eat caribou, they wanted the organs, they wanted the marrow from the bones and the fat from the animal, maybe even the brains. There's a lot of fat in a bull that's highly desired. and fat in the ribs, fat, potassium, and sodium in the tongue, and it made the tongue a delicacy, really. But the meat itself is pretty lean, and certain times of the year, you could have either a lean caribou or a fat caribou.
A large caribou carrying all of its winter fat might feed a small group of hunters for several days, but its soft, warm hide could last much longer if properly tanned and softened. This labor-intensive process would have begun when the animal's hide was stripped from the carcass and then scraped clean of the flesh on its underside.
A skin from which all the tissue and meat have been scraped off was dried for 1 day or 2 days. A mixture of brains and water and wrung out, and then it was stretched and soaked again, stretched and soaked again. And basically this process was repeated 2 or 3 times until finally you had a skin that was quite soft.
A finished hide with its hair scraped off might have been sewn into a tent cover or cut into small pieces for various other uses. With its hair left on, the caribou's skin would have provided excellent material for bedding or for the kind of winter clothing worn by the hunters in this diorama.
A person who was wearing caribou skin clothing with the hair inside could live through winters where the temperatures fell to 50 or 60 degrees below zero with no trouble whatsoever.
But if you're in a season where the caribou does not have much fat and it's a very lean caribou, you're going to want other animals to hunt, fatter animals, like possibly that beaver or seal or a walrus, something along those lines. I wanted to show the process of tanning a hide here. They used a mixture of brains and water to soften the skin and to preserve it.
The successful hunt has come to an end, but the people's work is far from over. With razor-sharp stone tools and experienced hands, they will now begin to butcher the fallen caribou. The people will use everything the caribou has to provide. Not only food, but also material for valuable tools. And most important is the caribou's thick, soft hide, which the people now begin to prepare for use in clothing and shelter that will keep them warm throughout the long, cold winter ahead. You could see an ancient person here using a little billet on some Norman scale chert to make fluted points and little scraper and flake knives. These flake knives, a lot of people that think it's just throwaway flakes, were actually tools. They were used for cutting leather, they were used for cutting skins, especially when you're skinning the animal. Those flakes work really well. After those animated hunting scenes here, you could really picture what the museum here is depicting, and you could actually see the spears in flight heading towards the caribou with the fluted points hafted onto the shafts. They even went as far to show the blood on a fluted point laying on top of the caribou being butchered. And the other guy in the last scene was actually holding a caribou head. I have a friend who eats a lot of wild food, and on his YouTube channel, The Wooded Beardsman, he tests a lot of these foods that we don't really do anymore. It's kind of gross, but kind of awesome at the same time. Like he'll eat fish eyeballs. See possible ancient food sources. There's 2 channels to check out. It's The Wooded Beardsman and also his friend Jeremy, and his channel name is One Wild Crafter. Now you're going to want to check both of those guys out for traditional foods and wild edibles. Now, I just wanted to give you guys a good depiction of what's going on in this section of the museum here, where you can see the caribou hunt. So I'm going to pan around a little bit and let you look. You could pause on certain scenes to see what's going on. Now this is a different section of the museum, and it's actually a Native American village. So you guys should appreciate seeing this. It really brings things to life in this section. Here is a stone knife being used to cut up these very large bass. Those are huge. And here's what appears to be a father teaching their child, or maybe an uncle teaching their nephew, how to haft stone points and how to fletch stone points. And they've got a whole bunch of arrow shafts all tied up and laying down next to them. On today's journey, we're going to identify and find a material called flint and chert, which is used in the ancient traditional art of flint knapping. Flint and chert stone was crafted to make arrowheads, spear points, and knives by ancient peoples, as well as other numerous tools that they relied on for survival. We will also be looking at some examples of ancient artifacts, as well as some modern replications in this video. Stick around to the end, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I will get to them as quickly as I can. Have a good time, guys.
Onondaga. I got this crazy piece of gravel here. Let's see what we could do with it. I will do a full napping session later, but for now, I'm just going to see if I can make anything from this. I was working on this, doing some across flaking, and there's some damage in it. I should be able to fix it. Well, that worked. Look at that. Wouldn't exactly flute, but it worked. Kind of stalled out a little bit right here, but I did get it to go a little bit. If I worked on that more, a nice point out of this stuff, just out of gravel. Keep this in mind, guys. Alright, so I have followed this creek for many, many miles now. And as you can see, there's no rocks. So, unfortunate. I don't see any on the other side, nothing. Not a thing. Really pretty though. Wow. Alright. New plan. I'm gonna go somewhere else. There is some decent sized chunks here. That's a good piece. And I'm just gonna mark this down. There's more right here. Not the best. So I just looked down here in the creek. It looks like there's a, yep, that's a pretty good piece. It's a little tumbled, but I could probably nap that. I'll give it a try. So this is pure limestone. So there's more limestone. This I don't think is anything. I'll check it though. Here, hold the limestone. Sandstone.
Oh.
However, what is that? Looks weird. More sandstone. So a lot of sandstone here. There's some quartzite and very little limestone, but limestone is here. Where you find limestone, you can usually find flint. And we did see a few small pieces here. So this is what the limestone in this area looks like. It's usually a blue inside and a light blue white cortex weathering. So yeah, here's a nice piece of limestone right here.
Try that because
Yeah.
After that last video.
Hear that ring?
Mm-hmm.
Usually means good material. It's cherty. It's limestone with chert. So you can knap this. You can use this. It's just rough, but it'll work, and it's very, very sharp. You could knap this real quick into a spear point or arrowhead. See, it flakes. If it flakes, you could use it. Good stuff. Good limestone here. So that is cherty limestone. It has chert in it. Look around a little bit more. So the road I was on looks very sketchy. So I made a U-turn right here, which was also very sketchy. However, this area is extremely beautiful. So I hopped out of the car and I'm going to film some of it. Look at that. I don't even really know where I am right now. Pretty. There's like nobody here. I'm just in the middle of the woods. It's a dirt road now. Up there was paved. Feels pretty wild. Really enjoying this. Oh. Look at that, guys. Little fall fish. Alright, we'll let him go. Don't know.
Pretty grainy.
Feel how sharp that is.
Ah, jeez. That was gross.
Quartzite.
Oh, wow. It is. It's weird.
Let's try over here. Yeah, quartzite. Look at that.
It's shiny. Kind of sugary.
Yeah. It's all quartzites and limestone or shale. So I don't know what this is. But it is. It's polished. Some kind of slate shale. Just polishes up nice.
How you guys doing? What is up? Little history lesson today. The material I'm using in today's video is called isopus shale. And in this shale is chert deposits. So isopus chert. I really like this stuff. It has an ashy look to it. It's gray, brown, and black. And I really enjoy finding this, and I'm going to clip in the clip where actually Leah found this chunk. Recently, archaeologists have found that small knife blades and small scraping tools were used on sturgeon and either trout or salmon. And I will put a link in the video description of the evidence of that. It was found using a protein analysis, and that can determine what kind of animals these tools were used on. Fish, animals, whatever. And it is shown that these smaller knives and scraping tools were used on trout, amazingly enough. This here broke off. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Super sharp. I'm gonna even both sides. Just make it look nice.
just cleaned up the hinge up at the tip. It's cutting through my leather. Okay. So I only have like 10% battery left. I'm gonna half this, use it when I'm trout fishing. There you go, guys. I'm gonna call it Isopus. It's got ash in it. So there is some decent sized chunks here. That's a good piece. And I'm just gonna mark this down. There's more right here. Not the best.
Mark this on the map.
Yeah. There's a lot of flint everywhere. Stuff holds up to its name. Some two pieces right here.
Nice.
It's definitely plant. Let's see. I'll take this little corner off. Yeah. That is definitely flint.
It's a mosquito on you.
That is Onondaga.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Onondaga. Kind of chunky, but I would be able to get stuff out of this.
See the mosquito?
Mosquitoes
They're
everywhere.
bad here.
Alright, I am not going to stay here because there's a lot. I found two pieces, so that is awesome. This piece looks a little better than this.
Nice.
So, Ontario Rockhound on YouTube sent me some Canadian Onondaga, and I napped this blade out of it. I'm not really finding anything this big in the creeks here, but it is the same stuff, essentially. So that's how thin you could get that stuff.
Hold on, it's not focusing.
There we go. And I actually made it look like that with a vinegar bath. I put it in white vinegar for a few hours, and it stains it. Turns the limestone a gray color, gray and white. This was a black blade before I put it in the vinegar. Alright, let's get out of here. We are being eaten by vampiric bugs.
Okay guys, I will check in soon. I'm gonna try to find gas for the car. Expensive gas. See you guys.
Oh God. Hey bear.
Goes all the way through.
That is pretty wild.
Guys, we are at some cave. This is like day 672 of the road trip. And we're looking at geology, we're looking at rocks, and looking for flint and other things that we could use for primitive survival, bushcraft, and stuff like that. And this is pretty awesome. There's a cave with limestone and mudstone, siltstone, and maybe bears. Is any of this flint there, Jasper? Coming off the hill here, I found some blue chert. This piece here. Look at that.
So the wind is picking up. It's definitely a storm coming. Temperature dropping. I gotta hurry up. Oh, what is this? It's like basalt, but yeah, that sky is looking gnarly.
You guys see this? Look at that huge rock outcrop there. I kind of just want to float down this in a tube. Do they do that? Look at this. I want to be like that goose. Just float.
Where's the goose?
Like that. This water is like really clear too. Oh, look at that. Storms coming in. Looks like bad storms coming in. School of what looked like little, about this big, bass. 12 of them. Really tiny. Oh, man, this area feels really nice. Look at that. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Deadly river. People drown here. Don't be next. So we are going to a campsite in the Poconos Mountains. And there's a pretty nasty storm coming in here. Does not look good. time I come to the mountains. Let me turn this off so you can see. It's gonna ease up now. At least we're not stuck in a tent right now. Float away down the river. There's just something that I have to check out while I'm near here that I've been wanting to check out for a long time. So we'll go do that. Yeah, it's raining though, but who cares? This is a protected archaeological site. You cannot take anything from here whatsoever, but I've been wanting to see it because it's a Paleo-Indian quarry. And you can see the quarry pits right here and the stones they pulled out and pulled up. It's pretty crazy to see. I've been really wanting to see this for a long time. Standing on a bunch of tools here and stuff. Little tiny scrapers and stuff. It's all really old stuff.
2 or something. Or new morning. Good morning. I just car camped last night because apparently you need to get permits to camp at the primitive campsites here. And we get in late, and that's after hours for the permit offices. So I just slept in the car in a Walmart parking lot. I am very tired. Woke up at 6 in the morning again. Got a coffee. And I'm driving. And just looking around the Poconos. Poconos! Okay. There's some cool looking rock formations up here. But I don't see any flint in the walls. Alright guys, I'll be back in a bit. Just drove past an advertisement. I'm gonna have to see if I could get the images on Google somehow. But it said, Big Fish Lake. Pay a fee and keep the fish you catch. I am surprised. I am tempted to go down there and pay the fee and keep the fish I catch.
The big fish
The big fish.
that are in the lake.
This town's a little wonky. Okay, I keep that to myself. See you soon. Does anybody else have a Tamagotchi? I have a Tamagotchi. I've had a Tamagotchi since the 90s. The battery's dead. I did not take good care of my Tamagotchi.
Wow, look at that. That is wild.
So here's some.
Be careful when these, they wiggle.
See the holes? That means water was dripping in there. So that's confusing. What the
heck? Was this once like that? And it's just filled in, and so maybe in another, I don't know, 10,000 years, this will be way smaller? Yes? No? No idea. Jay has disappeared. Where did he go? Okay. Yeah. So this would slowly fill in over time. They would drop their leaves and fill in. Wow, that's so wild. So strange. So how big was this? What do you guys think?
I'm very confused. This doesn't make sense. Glaciated, unglaciated. Boulder Field is here. How come it's not covered in forest? I mean, I see leaves blowing onto the rocks. Leaves rot, creates soil. There should be stuff growing in there, and there's not. Has anybody tested the salt level in there? Take your time, the rocks wobble.
Yeah. Do that, take your time.
So this is really cool. If you want to be really confused, come check this out, because I'm what?
So the sign said that it was way larger in the past, and the forest has slowly been filling it in for the past 13,000 years.
It says it's been here unchanged for 20,000 years.
Wow.
Where's the stream? Water drains from a bog east of the field, flows through the ground underneath the field, and emerges on the other side. So this was probably a lake.
Maybe.
So the rocks, for some reason, filled in a lake. There's a stream that runs underneath, it says.
Oh, wow. So, is this... Show this... Flip it over? No. Okay. That picture, yes. So this... gel fluxion. I don't understand that.
A gelifluction.
Gelifluction. I would
Frost
like to
heave.
learn more about that.
Freeze, thaw, crack the bedrock, yes.
So my question is, why is this not
Everywhere.
along the entire line?
Mm-hmm.
Unless, I mean, was it? And it's just filled in? I don't... Like, if we followed
The glacier line.
where they're saying... I don't know. I don't understand.
Okay, I'm leaving here. I'm too confused. I am getting a headache. Let's go. And you picture something being miles high, plowing through sandstones, mudstone. That wouldn't take much effort for it to do that, because it's...
Imagine the weight of that.
Stumbled across an old tannery. I think that's what it said. Look at that. The ruins of an ancient tannery. The river ran black. The woods next to the river are the ruins of Lehigh Tannery. Over 100 families lived here. 2 railroads ran through town. An ice house, a steam sawmill, a hotel and school all clung to the river's edge. Bark from the giant hemlocks was an ingredient essential to this town's success. It tanned as many as 50,000 hides a year. And now there is nothing left, except the ruins and the ghosts of people who used to live here. Do you still hear them? I know I do. Do you hear those voices? Spooky. Come back here at night and do a ghost hunt. In the asphalt in these roads, these red roads, have like mudstone, siltstone.
It's different.
So it's turned it red. Hey Siri, can you play a song about Pennsylvania?
Now playing Pennsylvania by Matthew Mole.
Backing up. Got a banana?
There's only a little piece right here. The rest of it is not. Limestone. And then chert. Blue gray. Alright, I'll leave them here. Cool. Lehigh Gorge is freaking awesome. Been hiking around here all day. I'm kind of exhausted. Anyway, on to the next spot. Let's go!